Welcome back to the program. On May 1st, Josh Mahony, Democrat of Fayetteville, Arkansas, announced he would challenge Republican incumbent Senator Tom Cotton. I am joined in studio now by Josh Mahony. Good to see you.
You too, Roby. Thanks for having me on.
Well?
I appreciate it.
I know, yeah. You look like you've been getting a little sun. You're out there on the campaign trail.
You know, kind of trying to get ready for the campaign season. You know,
you're out tanning to get ready, or you're out campaigning and getting tan?
Both.
Okay.
You know, when you're doing something for 18 months, you tend to waste away. So I try to do as much ahead of time to build up.
Let's talk about what you launched. Kicked off your campaign talking about. You said you're going to fight to keep health care costs down, bring good paying jobs to our state, put hardworking families of Arkansas above political parties and special interests. Let's talk about health care first.
Yeah.
Do you support Medicare for all, or do you want to see changes to the Affordable Care Act?
Well, you know, I think we start with making sure we're protecting the Affordable Care Act. You know, Tom Cotton voted 3 times to repeal the ACA. And if there's anything that just makes me furious, that really pushed me over the edge into this race is, you know, we've got about a third of Arkansans have a pre-existing condition. And every time he voted to repeal the ACA, that's him telling that people with pre-existing conditions that they don't deserve to have health care. And you look back to the 18,000 people we had that lost health insurance because of Medicaid expansion with work requirements. He should have been the first person out there saying that those work requirements were inappropriate. And instead, we ended up in the situation where, you know, these folks have to reapply. Who knows what's happened to their health in the meantime? I think a healthy population is a population that works. You know, I'm a fan of a lot of Medicare for all, but I do think that there's a place for private insurance there too.
All right. Talk about special interest. Are you going to accept PAC money, corporate PAC money?
No,
Are you
not
sticking
at all.
strictly with small donor individuals or maximum contributions from individuals?
Maximum contributions from individuals are always appreciated, if anybody wants to send us that. But, you know, we are going to be driven by small donor donations. We're never going to take corporate PAC money. You know, we're here to work for the people of Arkansas. And, you know, if you look at Senator Cotton, this is a guy that got elected to office and seems to have lost his way back home. And instead of working for us, he's working for his corporate interests. And I think you see that with his tax on health care. You can look at that with the, you know, the lack of policy around good economics. You know, when you're a person in Arkansas that's working hard just to get by every day, you need somebody that's got your back, not somebody that's got corporate interest in mind when they're making decisions.
This is what you said about Tom Cotton specifically in your announcement. I'm certainly not going to put Mitch McConnell over Maumelle or Malvern or McGee like Tom Cotton has. How has Tom Cotton put Mitch McConnell over those towns? Give me an example.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty obvious, actually. You know, I consider Mitch McConnell to be Tom Cotton's godfather. And this goes back to that. Let's put corporate interests at our forefront. Instead of working,
me something specific that he's voted on that you take issue with in that respect.
Well, let's go back to healthcare on that. In fact, you know, anytime we're attacking workers in Arkansas, we're making it harder for them to have healthcare. I think that is taking the side of corporate interests. Who's he working for in that? Is it the insurance companies? Is it big pharma? That's sure what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it's healthcare, special interest funding. Those are going to be the 2 biggest issues of this campaign. Do you see something else on the horizon? Will a referendum on Trump be a part of this campaign?
No, it's not. You know, I'm here to run a race against Tom Cotton for the people of Arkansas and to stand up for them. You know, there are going to be things that the president and I agree on. There are going to be things that he and I don't agree on. But my job as the next senator of Arkansas is to work with him for the betterment of people in the state.
All right, last question for you here. This is how the Cotton campaign responded to your announced candidacy. Josh Mahony, a perpetually failing candidate who lost his last race by 32 points, supports the Green New Deal, open borders, and sanctuary cities. Are you a perpetually failing candidate? Do you support the Green New Deal, open borders, and sanctuary cities? I'll give you a chance to respond.
Well, let's put that in some context. You know, I ran in the 3rd district that's been red since 1966. It's been contested rarely by a Democrat. We actually added 17,000 new voters. We created one of the biggest blue trends in a district in the country. We exceeded expectations across the board. So, you know,
still 64-32.
It's still 64-32, but you have to remember it's a plus 19 district for Republicans. So, you know, we beat our spread in there. We did really well. And we did much better fundraising than anybody I think there has in decades. And so, you know, the state as a whole is actually not near as right-leaning as that one particular district. So we can win the state without winning that district. So, you know, that's my first response to that. The second, you know, I haven't had time to dig into the Green New Deal, but I am certainly a fan of renewable energy and sustainable energy. You know my background. I've owned part of a natural resource company, oil, mineral, natural gas, timber, for most of my life. And I've got great visibility into the energy industry. And there are jobs out there. It's great for the environment. It's going to save people money when they go to the grocery store and they buy groceries, or anytime they're paying for any consumer goods. I would love for every chicken coop in Arkansas to have a solar array on top to cut down their costs on growing chickens. And so that way, when you and I go to the grocery store, you know, our chicken's going to be cheaper when we buy it. I want every farm to have access to that too, so they can cut down some of their overhead costs when they're producing their harvest each year.
You're not going to mandate that, are you?
No, we're not going to mandate that, but let's find ways to make it feasible for people. It may be some write-offs or something like that. But we want to work with people to make sure that they are working to protect the planet, they're working for people, and they're going to make more profit off of it too.
All right, he's Josh Mahony. He's Democrat. He's challenging Senator Tom Cotton, Republican, this next election cycle in 2020. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Roby. I appreciate it.
We'll have you back at some point in time. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in. That's all for today's program. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.